Hey. Welcome to the Auspicious Wellness, Optimal Wellness Podcast. Happy Monday. Broadcasting live and in studio. So happy to be back with you this week. I've been clearing my schedule to try to get back to you every Monday. We don't do ordinary, but we endeavor to bring you a beautiful, extraordinary experience, the Auspicious Wellness Experience. My name is Debbie Smith-Torrance, your host. I'm a certified life and health coach, a manufacturer in cannabinoid molecules. That means CBD company. I am an IT developer, a minority and women business enterprise, and an XBE, a wife, mother, a grandmother. And I am truly blessed and highly favored in life. To have a family is a blessing. To see your lineage grow is a beautiful thing. I'm broadcasting live and in studio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Alexa, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, Listen Note, Podbean, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Castro, Castbox, Podbean, Spreaker, Player FM, and FFmpg, and a bunch of more that I don't know about. I keep finding them and finding them. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's time to dig in. It's time to dive in and drill down, take it all apart, assemble it all over again, and make it all make sense and be true to you. You know where I need you at, the virtual roundtable. Come on in and take a seat. Our episode today is centered around a heartfelt episode. When I say heartfelt, I mean heartfelt. And I have had a couple of my friends and I was kind of going over the podcast with them sharing. And I told him, I said, I'm going to call it Put It On Me. Detoxing the spirit and the soul. And I'm about to put it on you today. And we have been laughing and been so joyful about this podcast today because it is meaningful and it's something that has really, I'm going to say, been in my spirit. Today's podcast is the last of our 5-part series, Detoxification, Mind, Body, Spirit, and Soul. This one is my favorite of all 5, the remedy to detox your spirit and your soul. How do we do that? Like everything else, mental and spiritual nourishment, everything is about nourishment, and nourishment can come in different forms. It really can. So with that being said, how do you do that? By connecting spiritually on a higher level and recognizing who you are and who you belong to, giving praise to the Most High, my Lord and Savior, body of Christ. Come on, somebody, we going there today. So let's keep it moving. You know what they say, when hell is breaking loose all over your life, you got to ask yourself, what is this? Why is this? What am I doing? And why am I doing this? You have got to own your mess and take responsibility for it. Start looking up. You've been looking right, to the left, and back. But you know what? You got to look up. You got to look in front of you, because you know why? God has your back. If you're looking to the left and you're looking to the right, you're distracted. What is that? Why is that? Not what is it, but why are you looking to the left and the right when you need to be looking in front of you? Because you got to own what's wrong to get to what's right in life. You got to go through, this is what's wrong with me. Now I need to figure out the path to go that's going to take me to the right space and place in life. If there is dysfunction, own it and see it for what it actually really is. Others may be something I want you to really, really focus on what I'm about to say to you, because this is real, and a lot of people deal with it. And this is something that used to really bother me, but not anymore. I'm in a whole different space. And I pray for people that are that they have their own set of demons. And I'm sorry if my presence ignites your demons. Deal with it. Figure out why it does, because there's something going on with you. So other people may be mad at you because you are functional and on your path to optimal performance and creativity in your life, also in self-discipline, and you're intentional about your path to that which is greater. And I call it the evolution of you, the steps to your greatness. See, when others treat you badly, and not only that, but also know that they're not happy for your success, stay focused, stay the course. You don't need to try and figure out why, because the why is not your problem. Don't let them make their problems your problem. It's because when you start trying to figure out why they have a problem with you, you lose your focus, and now you're wrapped up in their dysfunction. If you know for a fact you're not mistreating others, stay focused. These dysfunctional beings are simply dealing with their own demons, and it has absolutely nothing to do with you. That's why I'm asking you to become actionable about what you speak and what you seek. Listen to what I just said. I'm asking you to become actionable about what you speak and what you seek, and put the two of them together. But before you do that, let me give you some guidance and understanding of what we speak leads to what we seek. I told you I'm going there today. I'm going to put it on you. I've been thinking about this thing for about 3 days nonstop. I first started thinking about it last week when I literally finished the podcast from last week. I started thinking about it, and then I felt like God was talking to me. And then throughout my days, I would, think of this, think of that. And I wasn't really writing it down. I was just mentally focusing on it. And I had got to the point that I was scared I was going to lose some of the information. I was focusing on it so hard because I was working on other things at the same time. And then I just woke up and I started speaking to God, and he just started pouring it right back into me all over again, but in a whole different way where I could really bring it, and I'm going to give it to you today. I'm going to give you all this in the best possible way. Like I told you, I'm going to share this with you. So let's start out on a positive note of how we can better nourish our spirit and our soul. By doing this, the mind and the body will create unity in a beautiful occupied space of synergy in your own personal orbit. And that's where the beauty is at. When you start operating in your orbit, life is beautiful. But I'm going to give you some information how to operate in your personal orbit, leading to and nourishing your spiritual health. Okay, I want you to, in the health of your soul. A lot of people don't really think about that, but you can't divide the two. They go together. And from there, I want you to become centered I want to help you to become centered and intentional in your purpose, because I'm in my purpose. I understand my purpose, and my purpose can continue to grow. But for right now, I understand more than I did a year ago, a year before that. And if you can at least achieve having an intention to become intentional in your purpose, nothing really rocks you or shakes you. You might have to sit down for a minute, but you get right back up. And there's no secret about this. It's just real talk on a deeper level of spirituality. So let's keep going. Let's really go deeper, because I want to pour into you. I want to give you as much love as possible today, because that's what God told me to do, and I'm doing it. Positivity of the tongue. Pay attention to what you say. Pay attention how you say it, and what tone and how you emphasize it. If you want others to understand how you say, if you want other people to understand you, pay attention to how you say things. Pay attention to your tone of what you're saying. Pay attention to your speaking tools. Tap into your speaking tools. That is what's one of the most important things. I was having this conversation with one of my really, really good friends, Habiba, today. We bounce ideas off of each other. And she said, your speaking tools. And I said, I'm going to put that in there. Thank you, Habiba. Pay attention on how you're speaking to people. Speak to others how you would like to be spoken to. Pay attention on how you relate things to yourself. It cannot always be about your way or no way. Your expectations should always be spoken with humility and understanding, because when you speak to people with understanding and humility, you create a space for greatness within them to do more, to see more, and be more. And that's what we want. We are not put on this earth for it to be all about me, myself, and I, because you actually need a network to become as great as you would like to become, because it can never be about me, myself, and I, because it will never be bigger than you, and you're not bigger than everything. No one got there on their own. It's about teamwork. Trust and believe that. Your expectations, not only in yourself, but in others, but given to them in a way that they can understand, and they can take in the expectations and understand that this is growth for them themselves, that this is growth and I can do this. And your expectations are pouring into them. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, whatever you do, at the end of the day, you always remember this: what you say and how you say it is what you are speaking into existence. And what will you have to pay penance for later? By mistreating others, by being deceitful, deceiving people, lying to people, running over people, causing people heartache, upset. You got to remember these things. That's what you need to be thinking about, the penalties you incur in life resulting in the cross that you have to bear. See, we all have to pay attention to how we treat people. And I'm going to even go deeper about the power of the tongue. The power of the tongue is powerful. And when I tell you it's powerful, in the best way and in the worst way. And it's up to you what you choose to do with the power of the tongue, because it's your tongue and it comes out of your mouth and it's your belief system. And that's what you have to pay attention to. See, what I want to ask you, are you a believer? I'm not saying in what faith. I'm asking you, do you understand the power of the tongue? I want to go over some biblical verses about the tongue. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. Confirm this by saying, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. You see what I'm saying? They're saying those who love life will eat the fruits of life. That's deep, and that's something for you to think about. This is also spoken in Matthew chapter 18, verse 18, which proclaims, verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. So if you've been operating in a way that is not pleasing to humility and to humanity, to have for your humility towards other and in humanity, you're going to lose that in the heaven. That's something. And whatever you do today, you are bound by that in heaven unless you change. These verses prove how much good or bad our tongue words can do and be to us. The power and the responsibility is discussed several times in the Bible. Proverbs 13th chapter verse 3, whoever guards his mouth preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips come to ruin. So you get to babbling too much. Girl, did you hear the latest news? Let me tell you what so-and-so said about so-and-so and so-and-so. Loose lips sink ships. And you might be sinking your own ship by always running and always gossiping about the next person. Or you're the one that's the mastermind for dysfunction, and you're the one that's the mastermind for, and you're sowing all this confusion, and you send other people to do your bidding while you sit back and look, or you sit back and the same people that you call people to gang up on, you go smile in their face because you want to see them in pain. Those are your demons that's to bear. I know people personally that have done this and act as if they're the most innocent people in the world. We all know people like that. And so when you run into those kind of people, sooner or later, you'll be ready of knowing how to really deal with them without being angry, because you're no longer angry. You know what to expect from them, and you know how they operate. So a snake can't bite you if you've seen it and you know who the snake is and what the snake is. What you have to do is go pray for the snake, because you want them to change. You want them to have a life that's meaningful, that has purpose, direct